You gonna give me the thumbs up when we're on? We're on now? I'll sound the hammer and Joe will get up. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Glasgow City Council. We begin by standing and saying our pledge of the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, remain standing as Councilman Marion will lead us in our invocation.
Would you pray with me? Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting us all be here. Be with those overseas that are losing their life, Lord. Innocent lives that are going through war because of greed and selfishness. Thank you for not allowing that to happen here. Thank you for our military, our service men and women. Also, thank you for our police department, our fire department, who risk their lives to, again, provide safety for us. Just let us be more like you, Lord. We live in a sinful world, and we won't have a perfect place until we make it to where you're at. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. I will next ask our clerk, Mona Simmons, to call the roll.
Bunnell.
Present.
Gaunt.
Yes, ma'am.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry.
Here.
Marion.
Here.
Neal.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Trigg. Witcher.
Here. All right, 100% attendance, and we really appreciate you all being here. We always have lots of important things to take care of on behalf of the city, and we're going to get started. First, though, we need to approve the agenda that was sent to you last Thursday. I would entertain a motion that we proceed using that agenda.
I'd like to amend the agenda for a personnel matter.
For a personnel matter?
Yes.
Okay. I think, Rich, I'm going to put that down there in new business, but first of all, do I have a second?
Second.
From Chastity Lowry? Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, there being none, I'll call the vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We will move this to the first item under new business with that amended agenda. Now that we have the agenda approved for tonight, the first thing on the agenda is going to be to approve the minutes from back on our September the 9th meeting. You've had a chance to look over those. I would entertain a motion to approve them.
Motion. Second, Bunnell.
Okay, we have Councilman Kirkpatrick with the motion and Councilman Bunnell with the second, and which means we can discuss any discussions from the way the minutes were presented. If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And the minutes from the September the 9th meeting are now in the record books. We want to do something, bestow some honor on a gentleman we all knew and loved. I'm going to ask members of Jerry Green's family to come forward, members from the Liberty District Baptist Association to come forward to be a part of this a proclamation that we are going to present here. And I'm asking Councilman Kirkpatrick, who is the council representative on the Salvation Army, to be up here for this presentation. So if you're with the Liberty District Bunch Association or the Salvation Army, if you will come up forward right here, I'm going to read this proclamation. The organization is well represented here tonight. We really appreciate you all being here. This is a very special night for sure. I'm going to read from right here. So, okay, you all just listen. This is a proclamation in memory of Jerry David Green. To all to whom these presents shall come, whereas inspiration comes in all shapes and sizes in the lives of many people, in the communities in which they live and serve, and whereas volunteerism is one of the most selfless acts that we can become involved in. More volunteers are needed to carry out their mission and make the biggest difference possible in this world. And whereas Jerry David Green was one of those volunteers, one who put his heart and his soul into serving our community. He retired from the Glasgow State Nursing Facility. He was president of the Barron County Soup Kitchen for 13 years, active in the Salvation Army, Ralph Bunch Center, and a devoted member of the Glasgow Faith Church. And now, therefore, it is hereby proclaimed that the city of Glasgow does express its deep and abiding respect and honor for the late Jerry David Green. We hereby proclaim September the 17th, which is the date of his birth, is going to be Jerry David Green in Glasgow. We're very much honored to have known Mr. Green and the wonderful operation that he ran down there, and I think that we should all stand in his honor. Would you like to say something? We got a microphone right there, ma'am.
Just want to thank y'all. To know my daddy was to know love, was to know a servant's heart. And when he died, I designed his tombstone. And the first thing I told him, I said, it's got to have a lighthouse on it. I said, because that's what my daddy was. He was a light in so many ways. To know him was just, he was a barrel of love, a barrel of laughs. I thank y'all. I thank y'all so much. This has been hard on me, but I just wish my daddy could know. He just done so much. He's done so much for the community, for our family. And I'll never be able to fill those shoes of my daddy. But I just want to thank y'all.
Congratulations. It is an honor, and many of us knew and worked with Jerry and learned a whole lot from him on how to deal with people and how to make people feel appreciated. And he was good at it. So thank you all. Do we have enough photo opportunities here for everybody? And I appreciate everybody coming, too, because it just means that much more to commemorate Jerry's life. Thank you.
Max, do you care to take my phone and take a picture, please? You may have to squish together, guys.
Oh, you're not going to? Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here, for sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marna, for arranging that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's right. You do have a lot of formal students here, don't you? Okay, it's just nice to see folks here and for such a wonderful reason. We are going to continue. Hey, Nate, how you doing? We're going to continue with our agenda. The next item of business on the agenda is to recognize a new police officer and park ranger. First of all, we'll recognize Police Officer Jeffrey Walker and Park Ranger Officer Lisa Lassiter. So I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Guy Howey. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Go stand up there and face the crowd. I'd like to introduce Officer Jeffrey Walker, the originally from Glasgow, currently resides in Tompkinsville, Kentucky. He's married to his wife Kayla, and they have 2 wonderful children. He's also currently a specialist in the United States Army Reserve and has served there for 3 years. Officer Jeff Walker. I will, Mayor. As council, as you know, in this year, we've started a public safety park ranger officer program, and Lisa Lassiter is the first park ranger. She was born and raised in Scottsville, Kentucky. She resides there today. She's married to her wife, Misty, who is with us. They have 2 children, 1 boy and a girl. And couldn't think of anybody better for a park ranger because she enjoys hunting, fishing, and spending time outdoors. She's anxious to be on board and ready to start working. She's been with us a week, so.
All right, thank you all for engaging us to do some really important things here at our council meeting tonight. But we need to move forward on the agenda, and Rich, we have some old business to attend to here.
This is the second reading of an ordinance establishing the 2024 tax rate for the city of Glasgow. Be it hereby ordained by the city as follows. Section 1. There is hereby levied an ad valorem tax for the general fund of .169 per $100 of assessed value on real property and .169 per $100 of assessed value on personal property, subject to taxation for municipal purposes and having taxable situs in the city as of the first day of January 2024, as shown on the tax ledger compiled by the Berrien County Property Valuation Administrator. 2, all monies collected from this tax shall be paid into the general fund of the city and used for payment of proper expenditures as determined by the council. Section 3, it is hereby further provided that all taxpayers that may owe taxes under this levy shall pay same to the city treasurer or the tax collector on or before January 31, 2025. Any taxpayer who pays his or her bill under this levy on or before November 27th of this year shall be allowed a discount of 2% of the total tax bill. Those paying on or before December 31 of this year shall be allowed a discount of 1% of the total tax bill. It is further provided that to the tax bill of all taxpayers who fail to pay same on or before January 31 of 2025, there shall be added by way of a penalty an amount equal to 6% of the total tax bill, and upon that tax bill plus penalty there is charged interest at the rate of 6% per annum from February 1, 2025 until paid, and such delinquent taxpayer shall also pay all costs and expenses incidental to any action taken by the city for the collection of such delinquent tax bills. Section 4, delinquent taxes shall be collectible under the provisions of the Kentucky Revised Statutes relating to the collection of delinquent taxes by cities of the third class. Section 5, if any part of this ordinance shall be declared invalid for any reason, it shall not affect the remainder of this ordinance. All ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent that they may conflict. Lastly, Section 6, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication as required by law.
All right, you've heard the second reading of this particular ordinance establishing the 2024 tax rate. I would entertain a motion that we approve second reading.
Motion, Benel.
Okay.
Second, Norris.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Lowry,
Yes.
Marion,
No.
Neal,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Trigg,
Yes.
Witcher,
Yes.
Benel,
Yes.
Gaunt,
Yes, ma'am.
Kirkpatrick.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we have the final tally of 7-2. Second reading of the ordinance passes. We've got another second reading to consider.
This next ordinance amends the text of the city's zoning ordinance codified as Chapter 158 of its Code of Ordinances. I'll be reading from a summary that I prepared for this ordinance. The purpose of the proposed amendments to the text of the city's zoning ordinance, which is codified as Chapter 158 of the city's Code of Ordinances, is to refine the ordinance in order to include additions for medicinal cannabis regulations. This ordinance amends Chapter 158 of the Code of Ordinances as follows. It creates definitions adding cannabis business, cardholder, cultivator, dispensary, processor, producer, and safety compliance facility to the list of definitions. It creates definitions for the following words or phrases: cannabis business, cardholder, cultivator, dispensary, processor, producer, and safety compliance facility. In Section 158.056, in the Ag District, it allows medical cannabis cultivator facilities. Section 158.157, regarding the B1 District, it prohibits medical cannabis cultivating, producing, processing, safety compliance facilities, and medicinal cannabis dispensaries. Section 158.176, in the B2 District, it allows medicinal, that's hard to say.
It is hard.
Medicinal cannabis safety compliance facilities and medical cannabis dispensaries. In Section 158.178 in the B2 District, it prohibits medicinal cannabis cultivating, producing, and processing facilities. In Section 158.196 in the B3 District, it allows medical cannabis safety compliance facilities and medical cannabis dispensary, medical cannabis producing and processing facilities. Section 158.198 in the B3 District, it prohibits medical cannabis cultivator facilities. In Section 158.217 in the Office and Professional District, conditional use, safety compliance facilities, and medical cannabis dispensaries are allowed. Section 158.221 in the Office and Professional District, it prohibits medical cannabis cultivator facilities, processing, and producing facilities. In Section 158.246 in the Industrial 1 District, it allows medical cannabis cultivating, producing, and processing facilities. Section 158.248 in the Industrial 1 District, it prohibits safety compliance facilities and medical cannabis dispensaries. Section 158.256 in the I-2 district, it allows medical cannabis cultivating, producing, and processing facilities. Section 158.258 in the I-2 district, it prohibits safety compliance facilities and medical cannabis dispensaries. Section 158.317, job trailers, it adds a definition and phrase construction storage. Section 158.319, non-traditional structures, it adds the phrase no such structure may be used as a principal structure within a residential zoning district or accessory structure with the intent that it be used as a residential dwelling. This ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law.
All right, you have heard the second reading of this ordinance, amending the text of the city's zoning ordinance. First of all, I will solicit a motion to approve this second reading.
Motion, Lowry.
Is there a second?
Second, Kirkpatrick.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the second reading of this ordinance? And I'll tell you that Planning and Zoning Director Kevin Myatt is here. He lives in this world if you were to have any questions to discuss on second reading before we take the vote. I think we got it down pat. So Clerk Simmons, if you will call the roll.
Marion,
Yes.
Neal,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Trigg,
Yes.
Witcher, Benel,
Yes.
Gahn,
Yes, ma'am.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry.
Yes.
Okay, 8-1. So the second reading of the ordinance passes upon reading.
Next item is a municipal order. On order of the Mayor, Vicky Bartley is hereby reappointed to serve as a member of the Plaza Theater Advisory Board. This appointment shall be for a 3-year term expiring September 30, 2027, adopted today's date.
All right, you have heard the reading of the order to reappoint Vicky Bartley. Is there a motion to do so?
Motion.
Okay, from Councilman Marion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, from Councilman Neal, by the way, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll reappoint Vicky Bartley to the Plaza Theater Board of Advisors. Let's move to new business, and as the agenda was amended by Councilman Neal, we need to talk about a municipal order that I'll ask Rich to present to the council.
This is municipal order. On order of the Mayor, Lucas Tinsley is hereby appointed to the position of Chief of the Glasgow Fire Department. He has been serving as Battalion Chief and will now be appointed as Fire Chief. He shall supervise, direct, and control the equipment of the fire department and the firefighters in their response to fires and the extinguishment thereof. The plans, preparation, procedures, practice, and training in regard thereto, and may, as Chief of the Glasgow Fire Department, perform or cause to be performed all other actions authorized by law, ordinance, or regulation. This appointment is effective October 1, 2024, and is subject to the approval of the Glasgow City Council.
All right, you have heard the municipal order appointing Lucas Tinsley as the Chief of the Glasgow Fire Department. We'll begin by soliciting a motion to approve this.
Motion.
From Councilman Neal. Is there a second?
Second, Norris.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. What about discussion? Any discussion on this? All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay, now here's where we are. We needed to vote about this and have a discussion about this. At the next council meeting, we will go through actually making it official, but tonight, I was looking at the calendar, this is Chief Rock's last council meeting as fire chief, and he's here tonight, and we have to thank you for 23 years of service at the Glasgow Fire Department, and we're going to all anxiously watch you become a grandfather. And we appreciate it. There was a really nice reception over there at the fire station today, and we look forward to that. And in another meeting, we will do the official swearing in of the fire chief, but he is sitting right there next to Chief Rock. He's trying to learn as much as he can from the man who's got the job, because he won't be here the next time we meet. So we appreciate Chief Rock for all of your excellent expertise, training, the way that you handle the job, and I'd like to applaud you as well. Very good. Also, under new business, we have the first reading of an ordinance rezoning some property. Rich?
It appearing that Demetrius Steer and Yin Tran, owners and applicants, have requested a zoning change for the property at 716 Grandview Avenue here in Glasgow, which contains 6.93 acres more or less, from I-1 Light Industrial District to B3 Highway Service Business District. A schematic drawing of the property subject to rezoning is attached as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. A trial-type due process hearing concerning the proposed zoning change was held on July 15th of this year by the Joint City-County Planning and Zoning Commission, resulting in the unanimous recommendation by the Commission that the property described be rezoned from I-1 Light Industrial District to B3 Highway Service Business District. Copies of the findings and recommendations of the Commission have been forwarded to the Council and are hereby adopted by the Council and attached to this ordinance as Exhibit B and incorporated by reference. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the city as follows. Section 1, the findings and recommendations of the Commission, copies of which are attached as Exhibit B, are hereby approved in all respects. Section 2, the zoning of the property located at 716 Grandview Avenue in Glasgow, containing 6.93 acres, shall be and hereby is changed from a light industrial district to a B3 Highway Service Business District classification. The property covered by the ordinance being more particularly described in Exhibit B, or Exhibit A rather. Section 3, all future development of this property shall comply with the requirements of the development plan ordinance adopted by the Council on December 30, 1991. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law.
Okay, you've heard first reading of this ordinance rezoning the property over on Grandview Avenue. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the first reading of this ordinance. Okay. Councilman Kirkpatrick is making the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Neal. Is there any discussion on first reading of this ordinance?
Is that across from the veterinary clinic on Green?
I believe it is. I think that's behind, isn't that behind Rural King? Behind Rural King, okay. I believe it is, Yeah. All right. Other discussion? All right. That being none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We have some announcements right here. I'm going to do them a little bit out of order. I usually do them chronologically, but I know that Mr. Dick Sittler is here tonight with the group Concerned Citizens, and he is a member of the group that's putting on the forum for city council candidates on the 21st day of October at the First United Methodist Church. Now, Mr. Sittler is sitting right there in the blue shirt. If you haven't had a chance to talk to him, if you want to get information on what the forum is going to be, he would be glad to answer any questions for you while he's here tonight. And it's going to be on the 21st of October at the First United Methodist Church down in the Family Life Center. So I just wanted to, if you want to, he'll wait for it if you want to talk to him about anything after the meeting. Coming up this weekend, it's a big day at the Glasgow Square, the BNPW Club's Market on the Square. It's from 9 until 3. It's always a fun time for sure. Also, then hang around after the market and come down for the Johnny Cash Memorial Tribute at the Plaza Theater on Saturday night. On the 5th of October, we'll move to the Twitty and Lynn Salute of Conway and Loretta at the Plaza Theater. Then on October the 12th, the Cruise into Fall Car Show, which is always gets quite the crowd and is always a special way to slip into fall, and that's going to be on the 12th. And then also at the on that Saturday night, Big Gun, a tribute to AC/DC, will be down at the Plaza Theater on the night of the 12th. And then we'll have our next council meeting here on Monday, October the 14th at 6 p.m. I think I've covered everything. I will entertain a motion now that we adjourn. By Councilman Kirkpatrick. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Neal. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Okay, thank you all for your attendance and your involvement.